Some people are perfectly comfortable with you until you stop doing exactly what they want. We often mistake this comfort for genuine connection, believing that peace means we are truly valued. But sometimes that peace is merely the byproduct of your compliance. The moment you begin thinking for yourself, their behavior often shifts. You might notice a sudden coldness or unexplained tension. Because people who cannot control you will inevitably try to control something else. They will try to manage the situation, your emotions, or even your reality. Today, we uncover what emotionally intelligent people understand about this hidden side of human behavior. Number 1. They may try to make you feel guilty. It rarely arrives loudly. It comes disguised as a heavy sigh or a prolonged silence. When control disappears, guilt often takes its place. Some people stop asking for what they want directly. They realize that demands no longer work, so they shift to emotional leverage. Instead, they make you feel responsible for their disappointment, using guilt as a quiet tool to regain influence. Emotionally intelligent people understand that you are never responsible for someone else's inability to adapt. You do not have to carry the weight of a disappointment you did not intentionally cause. Number 2. They may criticize your decisions. You will notice that choices you routinely made without issue are suddenly placed under a microscope. The very same choices that once seemed acceptable suddenly become a problem. They might question your logic, doubt your intentions, or insist you are making a mistake. This wave of judgment can feel deeply personal. But this is not because your decisions changed, but because your independence did. They are criticizing the fact that you no longer needed their permission. When you stop seeking validation, their unsolicited advice becomes a desperate attempt to remain relevant in your life. Number 3. They may call you selfish. The word selfish is often weaponized to pull you back into endless giving. When you refuse to drain yourself, it is perceived as an attack. Boundaries instantly expose unhealthy expectations. They reveal who loved you for who you are and who loved you for what you provided. People who benefited from your constant sacrifice often become uncomfortable when you finally choose yourself. They mistake your self-preservation for cruelty. Remember, self-respect is frequently misunderstood by those who preferred your obedience. Taking care of your own well-being is not a selfish act. It is a necessary foundation. Number 4. They may try to change how others see you. If they can no longer navigate your mind, they will attempt to navigate the minds of others. When direct influence over you disappears, some focus on influencing opinions about you. This is a defense mechanism born out of a wounded ego. They create doubt, gossip, or misunderstanding. They might play the victim, twisting the narrative so your independence looks like unprovoked abandonment. But emotionally wise people refuse to let rumors define their identity. They know that the people who genuinely know your heart will never be swayed by a manipulated story. Number 5. They may withdraw affection. This subtle tactic targets our fundamental human need for connection. You might face the silent treatment or sudden emotional distance. Some people use attention as a reward. As long as you followed their script, they showered you with praise. When they lose control, their warmth suddenly becomes conditional. They pull away, hoping the chill of their absence will freeze you into submission. But stepping back allows you to see the situation clearly. This teaches a profound truth. Genuine care never depends on your obedience. Love offered and taken away based on compliance is simply a transaction. Number 6. They may test your boundaries again. Establishing a limit is rarely a one-time event. It is an ongoing practice. Unhealthy people rarely accept limits immediately. They operate on the assumption that if they apply a little more pressure, you will eventually cave in. They push, question, and challenge, wanting to see if your boundaries are real. They will search for any loophole in your resolve. You must hold the line, even when it feels deeply uncomfortable. Consistency is exactly what turns a boundary into unbreakable self-respect. Upholding your limit proves that your well-being is no longer up for negotiation. Number 7. They may become angry with your growth. When you decide to elevate your life, it acts as a mirror reflecting their own stagnation. Personal evolution changes relationships. The dynamics that relied on your silence or constant availability can no longer survive the light of your self-awareness. The stronger your confidence becomes, the weaker their influence gets. Instead of being inspired by your transformation, they might feel threatened by it. Some simply miss the version of you that was easier to manage. They miss the version who apologized for taking up space. But you are not obligated to shrink yourself back down. People reveal their true intentions when they can no longer control the outcome. Pay close attention to how someone responds when you finally say no. Those who respect you celebrate your growth, they do not fear it. They adjust to your new boundaries with grace, understanding your evolution does not diminish their value. Boundaries do not create problems, they expose them. They shine a light on the cracks in a relationship that were always there. The less approval you need, the more freedom you gain. Walking this path requires immense courage because it often means walking away from familiar spaces. Sometimes the absolute strongest sign of growth is disappointing the people who benefited from your weakness. The truth is, not everyone will celebrate your independence. Some preferred the version of you that never said no. They will mourn the loss of the control they once had, and you must let them mourn. But peace begins the moment you stop trading self-respect for approval. You realize that a lonely truth is infinitely more rewarding than a crowded lie. Because emotional freedom is not controlling others. It is refusing to let others control you. It is standing firmly grounded in your own worth, completely unaffected by the changing tides of conditional validation. Reclaiming your voice might upset those who preferred your silence, but it is the only way to build a life that truly belongs to you. Embrace the discomfort of change, because on the other side lies unshakable tranquility.